Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. In my videos, I use both Vedic and traditional Western techniques with tropical astrology, not sidereal astrology. I also use the traditional system of whole sign astrology for my analysis. You can use this video to the best of your advantage by listening to the introduction to understand what the week holds for you, and then going to the timestamps for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more personalized forecast for the week ahead. Astrology is not designed to scare you. It's designed to give you information so that you know what the good and the challenging energies in the week ahead will be, and you can therefore consciously work with them to the best of your advantage. Remember, knowledge is power. Now, there are scammers about, and so if you should receive a message from me on any platform requesting your money for a reading, know that it is a scam. Report them immediately. And now settle in and let's see what the astral skies have in store for the week ahead. Well, hello my beautiful friends, and welcome to this week's Astro Weather Report, where you're going to get empowered by knowing what's going on in the astral skies between the 20th to the 27th of May. Quite an exciting and very, very interesting week. I'm so glad you've joined me. Now, I want to just get straight into it with this video. We're going to jump and dive right into this week's energy focus. On the 20th of May, we have a new moon in Taurus at 28 degrees. Now, I haven't got that showing here on the astro wheel, but the sun is at 28 degrees of Taurus, and here is the moon. So, latter degrees of Taurus for a new moon. This lovely little May new moon, it arrives to ease us into Gemini season, when the sun is about to move 2 days later into the sign of Gemini. Now, this is a new moon with energies coming from a bisextile triangle created between Neptune, Mars, and the new moon. And what could be more enjoyable than such an energy configuration? Compromise, gentility, and kindness unfold on the earth and give us a much-needed breather. It's lovely energy. The moon blesses us also with opportunities, but we need to know what we need is to be able to see the opportunities, grab them and run with them in order to manifest the promise of success that this new moon brings. And what is key now are Taurus themes: understanding what it is you value most, taking time for pleasure, saving money, becoming self-sufficient, having a financial plan, believing you're worthy of what you desire, and being even stubborn and stoic despite difficult circumstances. That can be a very Taurian energy as well. So if you want to know more about this particular new moon, then do join me at the Patreon family, links in the description below, to find out all the details for your sign of how this new moon might be playing out in your life and affecting your life this week. You can also learn a bit of astrology all about the moon and her phases too. And then on the 21st, so that's on the 20th, and then on the 21st, it is such a busy day. Like, it is busy, 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 busy. We have Mars moving down here into the sign of Leo to start with. Now, this is party time. Mars in Leo. Mars and the sun rules Leo, they're friends in astrology. So now it's the time that we see our energy levels increase, our confidence blossoms, our actions become quite heroic and brave, and our strategy for life becomes clearer and more direct. We know where we're going now under this energy. We feel confident about initiating things. We feel vigorous in our creativity. Some people might find that there's an increase actually in their creative mind and their creative pursuits and their romantic pursuits here as well. Mars here, Mars here can also bring an extra instinct for leadership. If you need that bit of oomph in a certain leadership position, this is the day when you might really feel it. So I would encourage you, in fact, this is going to last all about a month or so, a little bit over a month. And this is a time when we can let our romantic life inspire us. You know, we can play more with our children, have fun more with our children. We can seek out pleasurable activities, and we put the party pep back into life. And don't we all need it? I know, sort of heading into the wintry months here in Australia, we need a bit of Mars in Leo vitality to get through the winter that's ahead of us. So that is Mars in Leo. But at the same time that Mars moves into Leo on the 21st, he is going to make an opposition to Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Whoops, that's a bit of a wobbly line. Sorry about that, people. So as you can see there, that is quite an interesting combination. Now, this is one of the universe's more difficult interactions. So let's take a deep breath. And away we go with this one. Now, look, every aspect has shadow and light to it. And the light in this particular aspect is that in the positive, you might be all fired up, all G'd up to achieve your strongest desires, to tackle the competition head on, to reach the heights that you aspire to and embrace your full potential. So that could be a beneficial energy to embrace. What is interesting though, however, with this very heavy-duty opposition between two planets. They're co-rulers of Scorpio, but they are super intense, difficult planets, both of them. And what's interesting with this opposition and what's fueling this momentum is frequently it looks like fear. So this is an opposition that can bring forward a lot of the things, the positive things that I just talked about, you know, tackling the competition, getting your desires met, all that sort of thing. But it's coming often from a place of fear. It may even come from a place of aggression or domination or obsession. Now, do you really want to be bedfellows with energy like that? You know, okay, it's great to succeed. It's wonderful to succeed in life, but at what cost to your own soul's peace? You know, you might reach the heights, but if you have done it through aggression and domination, is it really satisfying? Is it good karma for you? So we really need to evaluate our motives under this particular energy of Pluto opposite Mars and make sure that our motives are coming from a pure place so that we can carry forward, you know, with good conscience, essentially. Pluto opposite Mars is one of those indicators that tends towards violence and ruthlessness. They're gnashing their teeth at us now, that is violence and ruthlessness that we might see out there in the world, or we might be displaying that energy as well. This is a once in 2 year transit, so it's not a common one the way some other transits are. So we need to be aware of this energy so that we have the ability to shrug it off. If I'm feeling ruthless, like I'm going to stomp all over everyone, I don't care who gets hurt. If we're feeling that way, we can be consciously aware, okay, Pluto Mars, now I know. I'm not going to give in to this. I can feel this way and I don't judge myself for feeling that way because that's just the energy. But I'm not going to cause it to lead me into actions that karmically I will have regret for. So there is power in knowing about the astrology coming up in the week ahead. So I'm so glad you joined me for these astro weather reports to empower yourself. Are you ready to shrug this energy off? Are you ready to take the higher moral ground? You might feel that there are powerful forces coming against you under this influence, like you're just being attacked. So have some strategies up your sleeve to find calm and balance. These can be very useful as you head into the eye of this energetic storm, Pluto opposite Mars. And it's like I said, it's such a busy day. There's so much going on. You may feel quite overwhelmed by all the energies on the 21st of May. I would also suggest avoid starting new relationships under this energy. Or I would even avoid going on dates with unknown people while this energy is active. It is the kind of energy that could see you cross paths with somebody who's abusive, violent, and all sorts of nasty things could unfold. Now, I'm not saying that for everybody it will, but if this particular energy is tangoing with your natal chart in a difficult way, then you could be subject to these kind of difficulties if you don't act with caution. Better to stay home and have a glass of wine in the bath than to go on a date and really regret it afterwards. Okay, so that is the energy we're going to be looking at in the all signs breakdown. It's just one that we all need to be aware of. There's some good news, though, that I'm getting to in just a second. Also on the 21st of May, the sun, boom, moves into 0 degrees of Gemini. So we've got a lot of planets here at 0 degrees right now. Pluto, Mars, and the sun. Well, it's time to express ourselves for the month that the sun is in Gemini. We use words and gestures when the sun is in Gemini to help us shine our natural charisma. So it's very much a use of the hands, speaking with the hands when sun moves into Gemini. It's a mutable energy, as we know. Gemini is a mutable energy, and this month is about flexibility and change when the sun is in Gemini. How to maintain our adaptability, and if we can't lose. If we're going with the flow, if we're just letting the universe lead us, we are on a winner during this month. Our thinking gets stimulated for the next month. We might find we're more curious than usual. We want answers and we go searching for them. That our words flow easier while the sun's in Gemini. Some of us might feel more restless than usual too, like we want to get out and explore and not be stuck at home. We might find it hard to put our feet on the ground the way we did last month when the sun was moving through Taurus. Be aware of that. But look, in general, this is a bright, breezy, non-discriminatory energy. It's just what the doctor ordered for the coming days. So let's enjoy sun in Gemini season, and happy birthday to all my Gemini sun people out there watching. Then also on the 21st, so like I said, so much going on the 21st, we've got a trine because the sun's at 0 degrees of Gemini. It will be trining Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this trine is a powerful energy as well, but it's a powerful energy for good. So this is our redeeming factor. We've got this heavy-duty Sun-Mars opposition, but we are going to be empowered because Sun is trining Pluto. This is a twice-annual transit, so it's not quite as impactful as the Sun opposite Mars opposite Pluto energy, but it is going to sort of hold space, as they say, for us with this potency. So that's a relief. It's a powerhouse energy. It's a potent energy for impacting others and creating a positive influence in the world. It's really a case of as within, so without. Our own sense of personal power becomes enhanced, and it causes us to create powerful experiences in our external reality. For some, this might look like taking our power back where it's been taken from us. For others, it might be more like creating or generating because we're feeling good within us, we are creating support externally from male figures. There's a masculine energy. Sun is what's being amplified here by Pluto's trine, or the trine to Pluto, I should say. For others, it might look like a significant transformation occurs in your life that completely redirects where you're going. So in that sense, could be a very positive experience. Our vitality is at its peak with this energy, and it's a great time for expressing ourselves, pursuing our ambitions, and best of all, embracing our personal joy. Finally, this week on the 23rd, we're leaving the 21st alone at last. On the 23rd, we've got a Mars square to Jupiter. So Jupiter's in Taurus, Mars is in Leo, both are fixed signs, and there is a square occurring. Now, not all squares are bad. You might think they are if you've watched a lot of astrology videos online, but unless you get the proper education about these things, you won't realize that some squares can actually bring benefit. And these two astrological friends can really give you the energy that you need to start new projects on the 23rd of May. It can give you initiative that can lead to some really big successes. You really need to look at what houses in your chart these two planets are activating, and that's where you might feel a lucky surge of energy, a lucky punch of energy. Mars gives courage in most situations, especially when well dignified here in Leo. But just be wary of a little too much impulsiveness and tactlessness behavior, because Jupiter will expand what Mars is doing. But balance is the name of the game now. In Leo, Mars does very well, and Jupiter is expanding that experience. Mars also gives enthusiasm, which in this instance, Jupiter can kind of blow up, just so enthusiastic, so excited, so ready to go, go, go. Just be conscious of overdoing it and ending up being too tired to enjoy all the good things life has to offer. So in this sense, it's actually not a bad energy. Jupiter square to Mars. So make the most of that vitality and get things done. Now, if you want to know more about what's happening each day as it unfolds, you might like to join my Instagram or my Facebook updates. The links are in the description below, and that way you can get the energies as they happen, or just simply check into your subscription feed here on YouTube, because I post my tiles sharing all this information to YouTube as well. So if you check your feed daily, you'll get a daily update from me. All right, let's begin looking at the all signs breakdown for this one. We have the 21st of May, Mars and Pluto in opposition, and Sun and Pluto in trine. What's it going to bring? Well, it's going to bring a really mixed bag of energies that we want to be aware of. And we're going to start with lovely Leo. Now, where's my little clip? Ready to hold things steady. Everybody likes to go for a walk. I swear, my beautiful Astro Wheel really needs to go visit a service center, because it seems like every single sign is starting to roll at the moment. It's just getting a little bit worn out from so much use every week. Anyhow, enough with the conversation about the Astro Wheel. Let's talk about Pluto-Mars opposition and Sun trine. Sun trine Pluto. So, look, this can bring aggression and manipulation into our life or into the world around us. You might experience some traumas, cheating, crime, violence, accidents, all that nasty stuff. But it can also bring fast transformation, really fast transformation in our life, but with a great upheaval. So in the first house, Leo, it can be very, very potent, this energy, because you are represented by the first house. You will really feel this energy in your physical body. And there might be a transformation of the physical body in some way. So just watch out for getting sick on this day. Mars is rashes and fevers. You might be, getting the hot sweats, and not from menopause either, from something else maybe, fevers and so on. Pluto could trigger that in the house of the body. You might be dishing out, sort of the ruthlessness or the harsh words, or, being sort of violent with other people in your world in some way. Or if you're not acting it out, you might be feeling like, man, I wish I could just ram that guy in front of me I wish I was in a Mack truck and I could just run over that guy on the road, who's giving me the shits. It's that kind of energy. You are just feeling like, I'm just going to go get him. So be careful of that it doesn't lead you into actions that you regret. But you're feeling it in your body, that tenseness, that aggression, that energy. You can tell I've thought those thoughts before when I've been on the highway. All my worst traits come out when I'm on the road, I must say. That's where my children learn to swear, unfortunately. Yes, you might be the one, Leo, dishing out the problematic experiences for other people. This is the house of survival. It's also the house of our main reason for incarnation. You are here to experience Leo energy, creativity, joy, leadership, just to name a couple of things. So you might be feeling, cheated in your ability to share your creativity, or you might be feeling, aggressive with, in how you're going about surviving here on the planet. So make sure you keep your karma clean, Leo. I would also add that, this is not only going to influence you personally, but you might experience personal transformation that takes your life in a completely different direction to where you thought you were going with your creativity or with your physical health and that kind of thing. Be very careful of accidents under this energy. Mars rules accidents. So for you, it could be an accident to the physical body that occurs. So this is not the day for getting on that rickety old wobbly ladder and climbing up onto the roof to clean the gutters. Don't do anything stupid under this energy. Keep it safe as possible. Avoid the accidents. This is the first house of initiating new things. Just don't be the one to initiate violence and aggression and manipulation to other people. Be the one to initiate transformation in your own life. Maybe you might need to sit and, observe how you're feeling, observe what that's telling you about your journey, about your body, about your heart, soul, and mind. Observe yourself. This energy, or the first house, has to do with what we align ourselves with. So, we might align ourselves with high ambition, with strong ambition to take our lives in a certain direction. It's also the house of the first impressions that we give, and you don't want to meet new people all in a G'd up state where you're like, cranky, angry, manipulative, volatile, violent kind of aura. You don't want that. So knowledge is power. Be aware, my friends, my beautiful Leo friends, that this could be the energy you're in on the 21st. And if it is, it's okay, as long as it doesn't lead you to actions that you regret. Now, because of the Sun trine Pluto, this is going to ease that off just a little, and it's going to cause you to take your power back in places where you feel you've lost it. The Sun trine Pluto can also give you a bit more vitality, so that's going to be really good. If you do meet with an accident, or if you are feeling a bit hot, from a fever or something like that, the Sun trine Pluto can help ease that off. Even though the Sun's a hot planet, your vitality and your inner resilience is stronger in the body thanks to this energy. So yay for that. Thank you, Sun Pluto trine. Now, once again, we're really having, what this is speaking to is really an opportunity to redirect our life through transformation, particularly our physical health, our presentation to the world. You might be utterly revamping and transforming how you look, your wardrobe, your style, your friendship group, your connections in some way. You might be really transforming your goals and dreams and aspirations as well. And if that's the case, create your new ambitions and put your energy into going for it without causing harm to others. That's the best way to use this energy, my beautiful Leo friends. All right, thank you, Leo. Then we move to Virgo. Virgo rising, sun and moon. The energy of Mars-Pluto opposition will be expressing through your 12th house, where Mars is residing for the next month or two. So the Mars is actually in good dignity. Sorry, I just had to gather my thoughts. Mars is actually in really good dignity in the 12th house. And so he's giving some power to the 12th house, which is a relief. That's helpful. But it can still be difficult to get a grasp on right now. You might be feeling like things are a bit out of control. And you can't do anything about it. Like, you just have to let go and let God. And so you might be feeling that you're the victim of some sort of manipulation or aggression, some sort of trauma that is causing trouble in your life now. You might feel like you are the victim and there's not much you can do about your circumstances. And indeed, there's not much you can do in the physical. But remember that the sun is making a trine to Pluto on this day. So you can actually maybe seek an authority figure, 10th house, to help you sort out any issues, any traumas. So, go see a professional. Go see somebody who's an expert in their field who can help you sort out your issues, your problems, and that feeling of being out of control. I do feel that your ancestors and angels and spirit guides on the other side, you can call on, but sometimes they allow these difficult experiences to come into our awareness or our life experience in order not to test us, not like that, but to empower us to take our power back and to step up, to own our lives instead of always being in that victim mentality. So if that's, if you feel like, oh, suddenly the universe is against me, it's not against you. It's asking you to step up. It's asking you, to coin a phrase that's highly overused, it's asking you to do the work of, growing your soul, growing your maturity to handle life's challenges. So if that's how you're feeling, know that yes, you should pray, you should reach out to your spirit guides for guidance, but when they guide you in a certain direction to deal with traumas and aggravation and difficult circumstances, listen to what they're telling you and don't be afraid to step forward, okay? Once again, I'll point out that getting an expert in to handle things is actually a really good option. Now, you will probably feel very sensitive, Virgo, under this energy. So be kind to yourself. Do treat yourself gently. Allow yourself some time to escape, rest, find peace, daydream. Find some sort of way that you can just be in peace. Practice acceptance as well to get the benefits out of this energy. When we can go through traumas and not our soul, our vibration isn't wavered, that's actually an act of alchemy, when you can do that by practicing acceptance and contentment in all circumstances, which is what the Apostle Paul wrote about in the Bible. So, look, you might be able to, through doing so, through practicing that, what I've just described as alchemy, you can take your power back. Out of a difficult situation, you can keep your equilibrium, and it can ultimately bless you. But I do feel that there might even be a karmic transformation that's unfolding in your life, Virgo, and you might not even be fully aware of it. But some secret, something from a past life, something that you're not fully conscious of is being reshaped and transformed through this energy. So again, letting go, letting God, best way forward. Thank you, Virgo. Now, our lucky Libras. I don't know why you're lucky today, but apparently that's what you are, according to what just popped out of my mouth. Okay, Librans. We are having Mars in opposition to Pluto, expressing through the 11th house, which is a rather lucky house. It's not the house of luck, but it's the house of prosperity and gainfulness, the house of how we can be profitable, how we can be gainful. Now, we can be profitable and gainful under this energy by being aggressive and manipulative, trying to strong arm things to go our way. But is that going to give us good juju into the future? No. So be very aware of how you're going about achieving your profit and gainfulness, how you're going about achieving your goals and dreams. You will feel very ambitious, Libra, very, very ambitious on this day. Just be careful that you are not destroying another soul through your actions. Not that that's your style anyway, Libra, but I'm just putting it out there. Okay, so this is networks, and this is also the realm of the chart that has to do with friendships. So you might be getting put upon by some friends. They might be might be cheating on you. They might be aggressive and manipulative in some way. Your friends and your networks. You might be feeling very much on the outer, and this could make you angry under this energy. What might be really what is unfolding under this influence? It's a once every 2-year influence, so it's rare. What might be unfolding is that your friendship groups and your networks might be transforming, but it might be, coming into something new and transforming into something new with a great deal of upheaval, with a great deal of challenge. So this energy is something to be consciously aware of. If you're losing friends on this day, if your friends are being horrible and mean, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to take your power back? Know in advance, okay, how would I deal with this situation? Would I be patient and just let the winds of persecution blow over? Or would I retaliate? What is appropriate in order to deal with friendships that are going wrong? And think in advance, okay, if I have to deal with a difficult situation, what is the best karmic behavior to adopt? Now, that said, it might be your friends who are going through some sort of trauma on this day. So check in with your friends. How are they doing? If you've got any friends going through troubled times, then reach out, make sure that they're coping okay under this difficult energy that we're all going to be experiencing together. This is an Upachaya house, so I think as the day wears on, things could improve and get better for you, my beautiful Libran friends. Because not only are we having this difficult energy that I'm describing here, but also the sun is trining Pluto, and the sun is in the blessed 9th house. So I do feel that things might improve. You might feel, more enthusiastic, more powerful as the day goes on. And there's definitely going to be a transformation that could lead to a place of blessing in the long run, perhaps with friends, perhaps with the stock market. This is the house of the stock market, the 11th house that I was talking about. Perhaps with your dreams and goals and ambitions. Something is transforming into something better in the long run. So believe that the universe has a method in its madness and purpose, and look for all the signs from the divine. Thank you, Libra. Okay. Scorpio rising, sun and moon. Well, this one's going to be felt very potently in your life on the 21st. Why? Because Mars is your traditional, get that done there, your traditional ruler, and your traditional ruler Mars is in opposition to your modern ruler Pluto. So there's a real standoff between these two fast shooters. It's, hefty energy, and Scorpio, above all others, you are the ones who are going to really notice this the most. So this is playing out and expressing through your 10th house. It could be that somebody in power and authority is being aggressive with you, is strong-arming you in some way. Know that this is coming and have a plan for how you're going to deal with it. And not just like a singular person. It could be like the passport office or the registry of births, deaths, and marriages. It could be the planning department, like a government agency. Or a power, gas, water, electricity authority is strong-arming you. Somebody in a position of authority over you in some way. Could be, being aggressive, being manipulative, causing trauma to your life. And don't those organizations frequently cause us trauma? So Scorpio, knowing about this, have a strategy for how you're going to approach things. Are you going to, be a fighter, be a warrior, and go head on with them? Or are you going to sort of just deep breathe and manage your energy and your emotions as best you can? One good thing, though, is that the sun is trining Pluto, which can give you, power in a way. And I would suggest the power will be coming through the 8th house. You might be feeling like, if I talk to an astrologer, then I'll get some clear direction on this situation with this authority figure. You might be feeling like, if I go and see an acupuncturist or some alternative healer, I will get the balance and harmony that I need so that this isn't, rocking my world, this dealings with some authority figure. But usually both of these energies, Pluto, Sun, trine, and Mars, Pluto opposition, both of them bring transformation to our life. So life is changing in some kind of significant way on the 21st of May. But it might just come with a bit of upheaval that you need to wade your way through the swamp, so to speak, so that you can find a solution. Now, excuse me, this is the house of our responsibilities and our social obligations. And so, you might be finding that your responsibilities and social obligations are weighing heavily on you. Or maybe you've been asked to sort of step into some criminal activity. Maybe you're on a board for something and you've been bribed, or you've been offered a bribe or something like that. That's the kind of energy that can play out here. This is your chance to take the high road. This is your chance to keep your reputation and your social obligations and public responsibilities at the highest level of integrity. And I would encourage you to do so today, Scorpio people, because it might benefit you in this lifetime. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. It might benefit you in this lifetime to take a bribe. But what's it going to do to your karma in the next life? I wouldn't want that hanging over my head. So, remember that as you go forward into this day, and you might be offered opportunities to be in a position of authority, to manipulate and be aggressive with others, to, take a bribe or to cheat or to be involved in some sort of violence from yourself as an authority figure. Please think twice. Please act with wisdom and integrity, and not just in a big business sense either. It could be that you have an authority. You have the authority. You wear the pants at home. Maybe you have the responsibility over your children or parents or something like that you're responsible for, and you have leadership over those people. So mind your P's and Q's and your karma in those situations as well. Whatever the leadership role is that you have, remember to, yes, don't give your power away. Take it back where you feel that you've lost it, but do so with grace. Do so with dignity. Don't be, giving into Pluto opposition to Mars and doing things in a manner that causes your soul harm in the long run. I do see a lot of transformation available to you regarding career because of this Scorpio. So you might be changing the dynamic in your workplace, in your career. You might be looking at new things. You might be evolving into something new at your workplace or altogether regarding career. And if that's the case, work with this energy as wisely as you can, because it could come with a bit of upheaval that takes you into this new realm, this new place of shining your light to the world. So be prepared for a bit of a rocky ride. In the end, I think it's going to turn out okay. This is an Upachaya house after all. Okay. Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon. We have for you guys the energy of Pluto opposite Mars expressing through your blessed 9th house. What does this mean? Well, this is a very interesting house. It's the house of our belief systems, but I think under this energy there's likely to be a bit of dogmatism in your life. Maybe somebody is coming and laying down the law with you about what is the moral thing to do, what's the ethical thing to say or do in this particular situation that you're in. And that could be really frustrating for you. None of us, well, I don't think any of us like to be told what to believe and what moral code to live by. I certainly don't, I'm sure there's many people watching this as well who are the same. We want to walk hand in hand with God ourselves rather than be told God is this, God is that, and you must obey in this way and you must obey in that way. We want to know God personally ourselves, and our belief systems, we want them to be personal to us, not, imposed upon us. Is what I mean. So there could be some dogmatism coming at you. There could even be some dogmatism that you're dishing out. So just be very wary that nobody wants to be on the receiving end of dogmatism from you either. So do act with awareness and caution. Mars opposite Pluto here, there could be fast transformation in terms of your future visions and goals. You might think you're heading in one direction and then the universe goes, now it's going this way, but it may come with a trauma. It may come with some sort of upheaval. So if you're looking at going to university or doing some sort of higher level study, there might be some challenge or difficulty or upheaval to overcome first before you can. It's not a good day to go traveling. I would be cautious about traveling on this day unless you absolutely have to, and then really pray. Pray to the gods. This is the house of the communication with the gods. Pray for protection. Pray for guidance and guardianship. Because this is a combination for accidents. And I'm not meaning to scare people here. I'm just telling you what the astrology says. So it's not like you should stay at home and sort of shiver in your doona in fear. It's much more about, okay, well, I have to take a drive. I have to go from Sydney to Melbourne. So what can I do to make sure everything is okay? Oh, I know this energy is going to play out. I'll make sure the car is serviced and has a wheel alignment before I take that big drive. Or I will, I will check in with the airline and make sure that all the bookings are, fine, or that there's going to be 2 pilots and not 1, so that I can be, rest easy in the process of taking that big trip. Maybe I choose to take less luggage so that there's no risk of the luggage getting lost on a long haul flight either. Maybe I just take carry-on instead of throwing things through the luggage department. So just be careful, because this is, like I said, long distance travel is 9th house, and this energy, if you're traveling on this day, is a day of accidents and frustrations, problems. So awareness and knowledge is power. I hope I haven't scared the socks off everybody by saying that. Just be aware. Okay, and I'll make sure that my friends who are Sagittarian are not traveling on that day as well. This is an energy that represents the 9th house represents the Supreme Court and the High Court. If you're dealing with those sort of high-level court institutions, just be careful that things aren't being manipulated. We know that there's a lot of corrupt High Court judges out there. And if you've got a hearing on this date, it is possible that the judge will be somebody who is not above par. So maybe if you can get the court date moved, it would be a good idea. I certainly wouldn't want to go to court with this combination playing out on this particular day. So think twice if you can manage to change a high court. I'm not talking about just divorce proceedings or anything like that. I'm talking about high court, Supreme Court kind of high level hearings. Okay. What else can I say about this? Well, Pluto is trining the sun, and that's expressing through the 7th house. So I think that your partners in life will be empowering you on this day. Yes, there's some difficulties, but your partners will be giving you wisdom. Your partners will be giving you confidence. Your partners will be helping you make the right choices to be able to navigate this difficult energy. What a blessing. What a blessing. Sun in the house of partnership, trining Pluto, which is making this difficult aspect to Mars. So you do have what it takes to overcome problems and difficulties and take your power back and transform your life, but it's going to come with the wisdom and advice and the good counsel of your partners, Sagittarius. So thumbs up there. Thank you. Now, Capricorn rising, sun or moon people. This is a very difficult astro weather report to do. I don't like talking about the difficult energies, but they are there, just like the lucky and beneficial energies. So forewarned, forearmed. And for you guys, this energy of Mars opposite Pluto is expressing through the 8th house, one of the malefic houses. This is the house of the mystical and the magic. It's the house of the shaman. It's the house of Reiki healers, psychologists, astrologers. And so these people might be somehow being violent in your life, or aggressive or manipulating or dominating in some way in your life. Not everybody who's a Reiki healer is pure of heart. Not everybody who is an astrologer, is on the money with their astrological predictions or has your best interests at heart. We need to be somewhat skeptical of everything in life, whether they are people working in so-called spiritual fields or not. There are deceptive people, abusive people, manipulative people in every area of life. So have your wits about you, Capricorn, about who you are giving your time and energy to in those mystical, magical, spiritual service industries. This is the house of trauma, and this is a combination for trauma. So just be ready, Capricorn. I'm sorry if this is heavy duty stuff, but just be ready that there might be a lot of transformation coming in your life that might come through a difficult circumstance, sudden upheaval, sudden change, life turning around in a split second kind of energy. Be very wary of, traumas that come through, say, accidents, falling off your bike or something like that. Be aware that this energy on this day is not supportive for that sort of thing, not going to prevent that sort of thing happening if it is in your astrological future to experience that. Really, one of the best ways to deal with all things in life is to practice the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, in my opinion. It allows us to accept whatever comes because it's part of our journey this lifetime. It's part of what the divine has decreed. Let go and let God. Now, the 8th house is also the house of what we receive from others: moral support, finances, material goods, inheritances, wills, payouts, windfalls. And this is probably the most likely way this is, potentially going to display, is that you might be having to, go head to head with someone over a windfall, over your ability to have moral support or financial support, and there could be some real argy-bargy going down. You take your brother and sister to court because they're contesting the grandfather's will or something like that, that kind of yucky stuff that nobody likes, nobody wants. We all have a hard enough time in life as it is, let alone having to deal with that kind of shit. So just heads up, Capricorn, those sorts of scenarios could also be playing out. If you're in the process of getting a divorce, this is not good either. Knowledge is power. This is the house of the results of our divorce, like the the 50-50 split of assets, or the division of children, and childcare and stuff like that. And this might be causing a lot of arguments, a lot of difficulties between couples who are trying to sort out all that mess. So just be aware, Capricorn, of the nature of this energy. And if you are in, I'm going to give a warning here. If you're somebody in a relationship where there's violence or sexual abuse, and I don't know why anyone would stay in a situation like that other than that, they're threatened or they're fearful. It's just not healthy for anybody. If you're in a situation like that on the 21st or around the 21st of May, please find a way to get to a safe place. Go visit your mother or something like that for the weekend or whenever this is occurring. Or go, stay with a friend, but get out of harm's way, because this is not a good combination if you are subjected to those kind of situations regularly. This is an indication that this might unfold again around the 21st. So again, forewarned, forearmed. I tell these things not because I want to make people live in fear. Astrology is not about that, but it's about being able to live with wisdom, And when we know that something is coming that doesn't look brilliant, we can make choices. Okay, I'm intending to react this way if I encounter this challenge, or I'm intending to take this step to protect myself before the worst happens. So that is how astrology can be empowering. It is not, I just have to reiterate here, it is not designed to make you live in fear. The divine does not want us to be, too afraid to open our front door and step out in the world. But it gives us this knowledge so that we can make choices that help us overcome, deal with, and address life's difficulties as they arrive. So I just want to mention that. Finally, my beautiful Capricorns, this is the house of big transformation, big change in life. So something may happen on this day that absolutely spins your life around 180 degrees. It could be a lucky windfall. It could be a confrontation in some way, or like I said, a upheaval that changes your life. And I want to just say, it could actually potentially change your life in the long run for the best, because it might liberate you and create a life of authenticity in some way. The sun, remember, is making a trine, Pluto trining the sun trining Pluto, which can give you a lot of ability to take your power back despite the difficulties. It can give you the energy and the vitality to really tackle a problem and do some problem solving. It can actually give you the courage that you need to pursue your ambitions and make life happen in a better way for you. So tap into your own power and strength. Don't just give up, and see where this day might take you. Thank you, Capricorn, for listening through a rather heavy-duty astro weather report this week. Aquarius rising, sun or moon people, the energy of Mars and Pluto in opposition is falling on through your 7th house, actually. This is the house expressing through the house opposite you. So you might get aggression, Aquarius, from the public, from your audience, from your clients, from other people, being aggressive, being, nasty, other people cheating or causing trauma in your life. The house of others is being activated in a very challenging way. So forewarned, forearmed. Know that, if somebody comes against me today, what am I going to do about it? How will I deal with a difficult circumstance? What will I act with rationality and calmness, remembering, Pluto-Mars opposition, I can get through this. I've got the ability to unravel this situation in the best possible way. Or are you going to just fly off the handle, overreact, and be cranky? So have a strategy for how you're going to deal with other people who push your buttons on this day. This is the house that is usually connected to equal relationships and partnerships, balance, fairness, and justice. But it can be really stirred up. The pot can really be stirred with Pluto opposite Mars. So Be aware of that. What might usually seem harmonious and what might usually function very well might be full of arguments and frustrations under this particular energy. It is not a day for signing any type of contracts or alliances. It's not a day for making any commitments or vows or promises. If you do, Aquarius, then you will be, eternally carrying in that commitment the energy of Pluto opposite Mars, which is fractious, traumatic, volatile. You don't want that. You don't want to have to deal with a contractual situation that is bringing more of that energy into your life. So put off contract signing until the winds of this energy have blown over. I would give it maybe a week or two if you can manage it. This is the house of how we perceive others. And you might be perceiving that everybody's attacking you, everybody's aggressive towards you on the 21st of May. But you know what? It's also the house of how we treat others ourselves. And so you might be treating other people with aggression, with a great deal of passion and sort of volatility and manipulation. Be very careful about your karma. Observe how you're treating others and walk with lightness into every situation, lest you show the dark side of this energy. This is also the house of trade and sales, negotiation and mediation. And so it's not a good day for mediating things. And again, it's not a good day for trade and sales if you have to sign a contract to do some trade agreements and what have you. This is how we act in business dealings. You could be quite ruthless under this energy. And then, you get down the track and you go, why was I such a bastard, Be careful and act with conscious awareness. But the sun here is trining Pluto and it's in your lucky 5th house. So that could really help set things up to sort of turn out all right in the end, to bring advantage to you, a lucky break that comes out of this difficult circumstance. So for you Aquarius people, this could actually be a beneficial day in the long run. As the day goes on, you might find that you're feeling stronger, more empowered, more vital, and that something beneficial and lucky comes out of a really hairy situation with a client or a business contract or something like that. It's still not a day for signing anything. I would not do that, but something good can come out of your negotiations with other people or dealing with an audience and that kind of stuff. Thank you, Aquarius. All right, Pisces rising, sun or moon. The energy of this Mars-Pluto opposition will be playing out in your 6th house, which is ruled in your Pisces chart by Leo. And so this is a malefic planet in a malefic house, so it may not go as horrendous for you as it has been described in some of the other readings here in this difficult video. It's very, as an astrologer, Pisces, it is hard to talk about the heavy-duty things, but we need to address these because being aware of them gives us power over them. Power of conscious awareness and conscious knowledge and the ability to be strategic in how we're going to respond when certain things unfold. Okay, so for you, it's playing out in the 6th house. Even though Mars is in good dignity in Leo and it's a malefic planet in a malefic house, which usually gives you the ability to overcome difficulties and obstacles, this is the house of enemies. And this is an energy that can cause a lot of aggression from enemies, manipulation from enemies who just want to see you fail. People who want to attack you for whatever reason, be that at a fake made up reason or something that you've actually done, who knows. But I feel like somebody might come into your life around the 21st who could cause a lot of havoc. Be aware of that, have a strategy for how you're going to deal with it. It's also the house of victim mentality, where we have a victim mentality over what issues in life we have a victim mentality. It's the house that can take us away from God the most because poor me and it's not fair and I don't deserve this and wah, wah, wah. So somebody could be stirring the pot in your life, causing adversity, causing difficulty, causing struggle, and you could go into it's not fair, wah, wah, wah. If that happens, I want you to pull yourself up. Hang on, I'm not a victim in this circumstance. I can take my power back. Sun trine Pluto will give you the ability to take your power back in some way from that victim circumstance, that imbalanced energy of the 6th house. It's the house of imbalance and problems. It's the house of disagreements. You have the ability to take your power back. Maybe you could lean on your family. Sun trining Pluto from the 4th house. Lean on your family. Lean on your nearest and dearest, your tribe. Now, they can help you get your balance back. They can help you get your focus back. They can help bring your vitality back. I see that your life, when it comes to 6th house things, Pisces, could be very much transformed on this day, the 21st of April. But it'll be transformed with some rather large upheaval. Maybe you suddenly, realize that you've got to, I'll use an example from my life. Oh my God, my bank account is in the red. Oh my God, what am I, because that debt is seen from the 6th house. Oh my God, that means I have to start doing readings again just to cope. At the moment, just to explain that situation, I'm not doing readings because I'm trying to produce all the content for the Royal Stars Academy, after which I will return to doing readings once more. But let's say, I was in a situation of great debt and I needed to start doing readings again, Maybe that is what is going to allow me to take my power back. Maybe that's going to cause me to, address the problem of debt and fix it. This is an Upachaya house. It is a house that gets better as time goes on. So you're going to be able to find a solution. Mars in the 6th house can problem solve and find a solution to some imbalanced life situation. But it's going to come with some upheaval, such as I'm in debt. Oh dear, I need to find a solution. So I'm in debt, I'm not educated enough, I don't know enough, I am not well enough, those sorts of things. And as I said, be careful of that victim mentality. Look at your life. Okay, I'm not well enough. I'm going to just take care of myself and not be all boo-hoo, woe is me because I'm not well enough. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what I can. So I'm kind of giving you some lectures here, Pisces. I don't mean to be, a preacher preaching at you, but this is a difficult combination and it may be a hard day to push through. You might be sort of really feeling like frustrated, like everything's going wrong. It's so hard, but trust the divine and maybe, like I said, lean on your family, lean on your loved ones, lean on your tribe for that emotional support, for that love, for that empowerment that can help us get through even the toughest situations that come our way in life. So that's your out, that's your power source for life's issues and problems you might encounter on the 21st of May. Thank you, Pisces, for listening to a rather heavy-duty astro weather report this week. Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon people, the energy of Mars opposite Pluto is going to be exhibiting through your 5th house. Now, this is a once in 2 year transit, so it is very noticeable, but it's not an easy one. It's one of the more difficult ones. So luckily for you, Aries, this is exhibiting through the luckiest house in the horoscope. So you might be protected from some of the dangers of this aspect. There may even be good karma that comes your way that alleviates a lot of the problems for you. For many Aries people, you guys probably out of all the signs stand to cope the best, I think, with this energy, I have to say. But if you're competing on the sports field, for example, if you're playing sport, it could be very violent. It could really erupt into something negative, so be conscious of that. If you are in any kind of competitive situation, an art exhibition, or you're going, vying for the lead role in the town musical or something, it could get nasty. It could get really nasty under this influence. Be aware of that as well. Have a strategy for dealing with difficulty in competitive situations under this influence. There could be just protect your children on this day. I would be just checking that, don't leave them to walk home from their, late night basketball practice on their own on this day. Go pick them up, or give them the night off. Don't put them in situations, or don't allow them to be in situations that are in any way dodgy under this energy. Aries, you must protect your children on the 21st of May. I would also suggest as well, it's not a good day for dating and romance. Avoid it. I mean, if you're in a long-term relationship, of course, bring your partner home flowers or chocolates or their favorite whiskey. Yes, do that. Nothing wrong with that in a stable, loving relationship. But if you are single and you're on the dating scene, just cool your heels for a bit. You know, you may have been chatting to somebody online and, I want to meet them. Don't do it on this day. You will regret it, I swear. So no romance. It's off the table on the 21st of May. And I would even go so far as to say perhaps avoid it for maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks. So, sorry guys, time for being celibate. There's a time and a place for everything, and this is not the time for rumpy-pumpy. So, Aries, that's the main thing I'm looking at here. But look, there could be a transformation that occurs in your life in some way. It may come with some upheaval or a transformation in the relationship you have with your children. It might come with some upheaval though. The good news is that the sun is making a trine with Pluto at this time too. So I do see friends being supportive. I do see your social connections giving you like a release valve, help you let off steam in some way. So if you need to reach out and talk to friends or write in a journal or, talk to someone in an email or something like that, do so, because that's your source of power under this difficult energy that's playing out. Thank you, Aries. Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon, people. Well, the energy that we're looking at this week is rather heavy duty, I have to say. So this is an astro report that's not for the faint-hearted. And so we are exploring Mars opposite Pluto, exhibiting through the 4th house. Your family might be very manipulative on this day. You might find that your family's being very aggressive, trying to control you in some way. They might be causing a lot of trauma to your life. Be careful. Be careful. We love our families, but sometimes they can overstep the mark. And this is an energy for that sort of thing going on. People taking advantage of you, manipulating you, coercing you, and causing all sorts of troublesome dynamics. I would encourage you to take your power back, particularly if your family has been exploiting you financially. Then this day, 21st of May, is time for saying, not gonna come to the rescue anymore with my money. I'm going to put some boundaries in place. That's what you need to consider under this energy. And they might not like that. They might get violent about that, But we can't. Sometimes we have family members who are deeply traumatized or difficult for some reason or another, and we can't always be covering their tracks or trying to, make things right for them. We need to protect ourselves and our resources. And one of our resources is our vitality. One of our resources is our money. One of our resources is our sense of personal balance. And so if you need to put boundaries in place to help you with that, then please do so on the 21st of May, Taurus. I do feel that there could be, just guard your home. If you've got, like, Mars rules fires, and here with Mars opposite Pluto, just make sure if you've got an open fire or a log fire or something like that, that it is not, that it's functioning properly and it's not going to cause you drama or trouble. Make sure that if you've got a heater of some sort, that it's working above board, Make sure that if you've got knives around the house, that they're all stored properly. They're not left sort of lying around where somebody can grab them and cause harm. Be careful. Mars rules knives, Mars rules fire, and this is the house of home with a very difficult aspect. It's also not the day to be doing any risky jobs around the house. You're going to climb up on the roof and clean out the gutters. No, don't do it on this day. Maybe, other risky things, using tools can sometimes be risky. If you've got a nail gun and you decide you're going to go fix that old plank and, you end up shooting yourself in the foot with the nail gun, just be careful. Mars is tools, Mars is accidents in the 4th house of home. So forewarned, forearmed, be careful, Taurus. And maybe if you can postpone any of those sorts of jobs for a day or so, maybe even for a week or so might be even better, then you will, you'll do better. It'll be better for you. Now, sometimes when we have difficult planets in the 4th house, my Taurus friends, such as Mars. Mars is a malefic in the Vedic system. And here in the 4th house, sometimes difficult planets, even in good dignity, can give anxiety or depression or sadness. So be prepared that you might feel a little low under this energy. And by be prepared, I mean, have that whatever soothes you. For me, I love a block of chocolate. I'm not, well, am I addicted? Maybe. I know I don't have to have chocolate every day. But when I'm feeling tired or run down, I will have a block of chocolate while I watch my favorite movie off Canva or something like that. So that's my go-to when I'm feeling just a bit, life's so hard. So have a strategy when you're feeling down. What are you going to do? How are you going to make it work for you, or how are you going to nurture yourself? This is the house of the chart to do with nurturing, self-nurturing. How are you going to nurture yourself to get you through this energy on the 21st of May? Thank you, my beautiful Taurus friends. Very heavy energy this week. Gemini rising, sun or moon. As I just said for Taurus, this is a heavy energy this week. Forewarned, forearmed though, I hope I give you the tools to know what's coming up so you can make some wise choices. Mars is the planet under heavy influence from Pluto opposition today, exhibiting through your 3rd house. This is the house of movement and restlessness and short localized trips. I wouldn't be taking any short trips, Maybe somebody has said, hey, let's go to this cafe at the town, 2 towns over. And, this is affecting your 3rd house of short trips. Maybe you could suggest, perhaps come to my house today and I'll cook us a brewed, or, make us a brewed chai instead of having to go to another cafe. Try and avoid, short trips if you can. If instead of I'll just drive down the street and get the local takeout for dinner, maybe you could arrange for Uber Eats to drop it to you instead. If there's ways to avoid taking a trip today, do it, because this energy, it's not the best, This is also the house of what we think about, where our thoughts go. And you could have some rather dark thoughts under this energy. You might be thinking the worst of people, seeing sinister motives in left, right, and center. You just tell yourself, if that's what you're feeling, this is just an energy and it will pass. There may not be sinister motives at play here, aggressive motives, manipulative motives, but you will tend to think along those lines. You might think that your relatives, your neighbors, your siblings are out to get you, A way you could channel this into a better expression would be to, maybe buy a biography of some serial killer and read about them or something like that. Is a better way to incorporate this energy into your day, rather than seeing, some, shadowy monster about to leap out from every corner. What else can I say about this? This is, if you're doing a workshop on the 21st of May, you might encounter somebody that you just butt heads with, that you just don't get along with. You might be butting heads with your neighbors. Your sister might rub you the wrong way. You might get a phone call from your brother and it just pushes every button. 3rd house people in our lives can be a cause of serious frustration and irritation. They can even, worst case scenario, do something violent or cause some sort of trauma in your life. So if you've got a ongoing problem with anyone of that nature, maybe avoid them under this energy. Stay out of the way so that, nothing much comes of it. That would be one way you could deal with it. If you are playing any games, this is the house in the horoscope to do with game playing. It might be good to just give the games a rest. That's online gaming as well as board games, as well as some team sports and things like that. Maybe take a break, because Mars is accidents. If you're out there playing soccer, and you twist your ankle, that's not much fun. But hello, Pluto opposite Mars can cause accidents in team sports, accidents in certain game playings. And, just because you play games online, my kids have had many irritating financial accidents online where they thought they were buying something with their own credit card and end up charging them 8 times over. That kind of stuff. Be careful, because there can be problems difficulties, upheavals with game playing. Also, if you run your own small business, Gemini, gotta say, just tread with caution in all your interactions under this energy. This could cause some problems and maybe, some horrible red tape to have to deal with, or some, maybe somebody, claims that they never received a package that you sent from your business, and then you've got to try and deal with that, and there's just problems. So forewarned, forearmed under this energy. But look, you do have the sun in your first house now, Gemini, trining Pluto. So you have what it takes to deal with the problems that I've just been talking about. You have the personal power, you have the vitality, and you have the charisma and enthusiasm to problem solve any of these situations. So don't be afraid to deal with things, because you do have what it takes. It just could be some problems in the way of things running smoothly, that's all. Thank you, Gemini. And now to Cancer rising, sun or moon. Well, we're at the end of the road now. Thank you, Cancer, for sticking with us to the very end. We are exploring, oopsies, get that to sit straight. We're exploring the energy that's running between Mars and Pluto on an opposition axis that's coming out and expressing in your second house. So this is the house of self-worth and self-value. Under this influence today, you might experience a blow to the ego or some sort of trauma to your sense of self-worth and self-value. Forewarned, forearmed, Cancer, that is the case. Somebody might attack you. There could be manipulation, there could be coercion, there could be some sort of cheating or violence that causes you to feel like, oh my goodness, I suck, or I'm not worth it, or life's been hard because I've been a bad person. We really get down on ourselves under this energy. So one thing that you could do is pray. Sun trine Pluto in the 12th house of prayer and meditation. Prayer, meditation, going into that sort of trance state where you're communicating with the other dimensions. That's a way to help boost you, boost your energy, boost your vitality, boost your worthiness on this particular day as well. So, go that route. Pray for help if you're feeling low in worth, low in value. This is the realm of the chart that has to do with your possessions. I would just encourage you to make sure that your possessions are secure, because this is a energy that bespokes, cheating and violence. So make sure you lock your house when you leave it. Make sure you lock your car when you're down the street. Guard your stuff. Don't be paranoid, but just be reasonable about, making sure everything's secure. And even I would suggest in the lead up to this, it might be a good idea just to make sure that your insurances are up to date. If somebody breaks into my car down the street, am I insured for what may happen? Make sure everything is all, I's dotted and T's crossed. So that should the worst happen, and I'm not saying it will for everybody, but should the worst happen, this energy, you are going to be covered. You're going to be safe. It's also the house of being safe and secure. And so, securing your possessions is part of that, but also feeling secure within yourself. Again, that prayer, that meditation might be what you need. Guard your voice, because this energy could cause your voice to become raspy, could cause your throat to become sore and inflamed. So do take care of your throat and your voice. You might even notice that you're getting hot flushes you can feel in your face under this energy. Mars is fevers and eczema and rashes and things like that. So you might be feeling that sort of thing on your face, in your throat, on your neck under this influence. So maybe make sure you've got that eczema cream in the cupboard that you like to use on such occasions. Or, drink plenty of cooling fluids and eat plenty of cooling, fruits and vegetables, or just watery stuff. I mean, I love sloppy porridge. So, that is a fluidy kind of, a sloppy meal. Things that can cool down this spicy energy of Mars in the house of food. It could cause stomach upsets, It could cause, issues with digestion. So make sure that you have cooling foods available and plenty of water on hand. So Cancer, that's the energy of what I'm seeing playing out for you. Now, as you've heard, if you've got to the end of this Astro Weather Report, it's not an easy one this week. So I pray that everybody is held and kept safe by the divine, that everybody who watches my Astro Weather Report feels the energy of love surrounding them and protecting them through this difficult period that happens once every 2 years. So it's not unfamiliar, but neither is it common. And I hope that I will see you in next week's Astro Weather Report, alive, flourishing, thriving, and well. Thank you so much, my beautiful friends. I'll catch you with the Astro Weather Report next week.